because I made the setup just on time, so should be all right. So we should be live in a few seconds. System is preparing the setup.
Yes,
And
I can see in the upcoming
yes,
message on
so,
YouTube.
all right, so we are live on YouTube, and I'm going to check if we are live on LinkedIn, but it should be exactly the same. Oop.
Oh. I'm gonna turn on
Yeah, perfect.
the chat.
So
Okay.
we are live on YouTube and on LinkedIn. And the good point, you should have the same thing on YouTube, Laurent. The meeting number is correct, and information on the meeting has been updated as well. So I think we have finally find the right setup for that. Okay. All right. So just let's wait if anyone is joining us. Otherwise, we'll have some, as usual, information to share. Okay. It's going to be the starting of the meeting in 1 minute. And if people are seeing the live stream, don't hesitate to join us live using the Zoom link. More than welcome to interact in live with us. And Arsh is joining us. Starting to have some usual suspects. So that's cool.
Hi, Harsh. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, good, good.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm fine also.
Nice to see you, Arsh.
Yeah. Actually, like your daylight time is shifted 1 hour earlier, so like uh, for us it's like
Okay.
more convenient to join this meeting.
Yes, with daylight savings, we don't have the same, time slot as before. Okay.
Yeah. But I think on the Google Calendar, it should have been updated accordingly, no? You know, the Linux Foundation calendar. I'll check it out, but I think it's still, I mean, tell us, Arsh, maybe offline, but if you have joined us using Linux Foundation, and if you made a sort of, if you reserve the slot, I think Google Calendar should update that automatically.
Yes, I think on Linux Foundation it's showing it's correct time.
Okay. All right. So, but you're right, maybe an issue for the one who was just jumping in the meeting using the Zoom link as the latest minute. Maybe they have not noticed that, yeah, daylight saving is still something we use in France and most of the parts of Europe, by the way. All right. So maybe some of us will join. We'll see. What we're going to start on. Maybe Laurent, we can share some updates and Archer, I've seen that but Laurent know that perfectly, but I've seen that you've been very active on doing a lot of the update PRs and committing a lot of stuff regarding the Microcks CLI. So if you like to update us later on the topic, feel free to do it because that's a very hot topic. We just for your information, we just have had an ecosystem meeting with Laurent just 2 hours ago, and Microcks CLI was clearly at the centerpiece of the conversations.
Yeah.
Great to hear that.
Yeah, so yes, we can start with general information on how things are going on the 1.12 version. I'm just checking one thing I would like to show you, but I first have to check if everything is still working on my side. So let me just a few seconds.
If you want, I'll give you some time to check it out.
Yes.
And do in the meantime an announcement.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
That's going to be very, very cool because Laurent will do a talk at the next Sprint IO Europe in Barcelona. I can share you more information on this event. So this is Sprint IO dedicated to Sprint developers, and that's clearly one of the biggest and most fantastic developer event and for Sprint developers. So we are very, very happy and proud to be part of this event. For information, that's clearly the first time that we're going to do it, and so happy and eager to discover, network, and chat with the Spring community. And if you check, so we will provide more information on that and feedback, and we will promote it online, but this is sort of preview for all the people who are following us and following the community meeting. If you check here, you also have some information on this amazing session that both Mauricio from Dapper and Laurent will manage during the event. And that's huge. That's big announcement, big collaboration between a graduated project, CNCF graduated project within the CNCF, which is Dapper, and Microcks, which is Sandbox, but on a way, hopefully, to move forward in the coming months. We also to the incubation level, and this is the type of collaboration we really all love altogether.
Yeah.
So Laurent, I don't know if you would like to add further details on that, but that's very
Yeah, sure. And I can also share my screen just to show you a few things we've worked on with Mauricio. So I think, yeah, yes, okay, you have to stop here. Oh, okay. And so typically, I think I talked about it a few weeks ago, but we were working with Mauricio to see how Microcks can complement Dapper from a developer experience point of view. And we worked together on this cool demo by Maurizio, that is the cloud native pizza store. So a demo that embeds different components like the store service, the kitchen service, the delivery service for your favorite pizza. It's based on events, so a lot of WebSockets, of Kafka stuff in the mix. And so we just enhanced this demonstration to explain how you can leverage Microcks to have a very pleasant experience from a developer point of view. So typically, if you're working on the kitchen service, how you can mock the delivery service, how you can mock the store service, but still be certain that what you're exposing or what you are consuming as an API consumer will still be aligned with the specs. So if you want, check it out. It will be an appetizer for the Spring IO session if you want. But typically you'll find some cool stuff here. For example, in the pizza delivery, want to show you some code, but yes, explaining how you can have this Dapper test configuration, but Dapper test configuration that also embeds typically Microcks in the mix with Kafka stuff and so on to enhance your developer experience. So check it out. It's already published on GitHub. It's Salaboy/pizza. Very easy to find out, but yeah, check it out.
Yeah, and once again, a good illustration of Microcks in a loop, and again, using a test container, these amazing tools from our friends from Docker. So that's again an amazing concentration of tool and open source project which are joining their forces to make better thing altogether. So that's great. Cool.
Cool.
So join us. Welcome, Akash.
Yeah.
Let us know if we didn't pronounce your first name correctly, by the way.
Hi, yeah. Sorry, I was a little bit late for the meeting. Yeah,
That's
you
okay.
did pronounce correctly. It was correct.
No worries. Cool. Nice to see you.
And you have a very nice picture. Look like that you are a KubeCon fan. Have you?
Yeah,
That's cool.
this was I think last year Delhi,
Yeah,
that first KubeCon India. So I was very excited to go there, and this is the pic we had there.
that's perfect. Thanks a lot. Thanks for joining. And as usual, feel free to interrupt and ask any question you may have. And if you have any specific topic, by the way, let us know. And maybe if you would like to start with, if you would like just to introduce yourself and tell us who you are, what you're working on, or let's say if you're already using Microcks or share the information you would like with the others, feel free to do it.
Sure. So about me, I think I'll start with about me. So yeah, I'm Akash Iswal. I work at Oracle as a DevOps engineer. I started my full-time job like last year. I work in Hyderabad, India. I mean, since my college, since my high school, I was interested in tech, so I started making Java, learning Java, making Android apps. College again, you have very good peers. I started open source and all. 2022, I got accepted to Google Summer of Code. So that was kind of I had networking with a lot of people, a lot of learning there. Since then, even though I am not like maintainer or not like you can say full-time contributor in any project, but I've been active here and there in open source. After I think 2022, I did my intern at Oracle, then again full-time job here. After coming to job, I was like, okay, in job again in such a big org, you get a set number of tasks or like you have a certain flow. Like I'm getting bored, I want to explore more. So that's where I think I again started exploring open source, various projects. I contributed to OWASP org, that is for cybersecurity. First from CNCF, I think I went to KubeCon. I have contributed to Kubernetes one or two issues. Then I'm also actively contributing to what to say Qflow. That's basically a MLOps organization where it kind of a blend between Kubernetes and what I'm working in Oracle as a DevOps company. So like DevOps work. And then I saw this, I think from hers, there was a LinkedIn post for Microc LinkedIn post. So I like, yeah, maybe why not join there? For Micro, I have seen the page. I have basic idea what it does, but sorry, I don't have any like question or anything explored much. Maybe this weekend, yeah, I'm free. I'll go deep into that. Maybe next meet I can ask some questions. And thanks us for sharing on LinkedIn. I remember you said on that, and I think I added in my calendar. Like okay, I got a notification like 5 6 minutes before, and I was like, I was outside slightly. I'm like, let's join this meet because I felt I think from my last 2 or 3 month, I've started joining a lot of community call from CNCF at the Rogan because see one is I remember during college one I was like a passively contributing where you were there was Slack at max or you were like writing code or in databases. But I felt community calls are the best, where you can ask questions, I can meet very smart people like you three and get help, and I can share my experience. So yeah, that's here I am.
Yeah, that's very cool. Thanks a lot for the intro and all the details, and very welcome in the community meeting and in the community on in general. More than happy to have, let's say, a newcomer. And again, thanks to Harsh for bringing, let's say, some friends on board. So that's very cool.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Akash, for joining, and like thank you for using my post to join. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think we're connected on LinkedIn. I saw the post. I immediately went to website. I mean, to be honest, like I think I'll say after job, like see, if you're a college student again, you're looking for a job, you're exploring more. But after getting job, I have more freedom to explore my things, which I want to do, not just because I want to get a job. So this is one of them. Like I'm sometime when I'm bored on weekend, I'm like, okay, I'll do something. I'll explore some project or do something related to Kubernetes or something like that. And CNC again, KubeCons and other. Even next very excited for there is a KubeCon happening. I think August in Hyderabad, same city as mine. So yeah.
That's cool. So you're going to be at the next KubeCon in India, or planning to?
Yeah, yeah. India for sure. I'm thinking. I mean, again, I'm thinking to apply for a scholarship or something for other KubeCon which are happening around the world. But India for sure. Like that's the place is literally like how many 10 or 15 minutes from my place. So there is no reason for me to not give this.
That's great. That's great. Okay.
Yeah, and one more thing, like as we started discussing on KubeCon, so like I got scholarship for the KubeCon China, and I will be there
Oh,
in June, and like also filled the CFP for the KubeCon India in Hyderabad. So like hopefully we'll introducing Microcks on KubeCon India.
oh,
Nice,
that's
nice.
great. Finger crossed then.
Uh, Finger crossed.
That's cool. That's cool. Thanks, you guys. So Laurent, are you ready to show us what you were thinking about? You're on mute, but maybe normal.
Not normal, yes, but I'm ready. Okay. Yeah, so I was just saying, so obviously my hot topic at the moment is how to bring MCP support into Microcks. Because typically, as I put in the demo a few weeks ago, it's the hot topic, and many of existing or yet to come APIs will be consumed in the coming weeks or years by LLMs, by AI agents, whatever. And so you probably want to check that your API design is LLM friendly or MCP friendly. So that was I demonstrated in a POC video a few weeks ago, and now that we know what to do, I've created a bunch of issues to describe what we would like to do. So this one is the major one, the one that is acting as an umbrella for all the other ones that details how and what we'd like to offer through these different features. I've worked this week on providing common types, utilities, structure for developing MCP converters, and typically we will have one MCP converter implementation by kind of application of API, or maybe by kind of contracts we support to define those APIs. So alongside this main issue, you will find other issue for implementing, adding OpenAPI supports to via MCP converter, adding gRPC and adding GraphQL support to our MCP converter. I can show you what it's like, what it looks like. So at the moment, the OpenAPI one is fairly advanced, let's say. And let me check. Let me see, for example, Not this one. Where is it? Maybe here. Okay. Yes, this pet store API here. Okay, so this is the pet store API from the Microcks tutorial. Okay, illustrating different way of interacting with the mocks, directly calling a static mocks or using a dynamic one using URI params. And typically you see now that this one is enabled for MCP. So what you have to do is just to copy here this HTTP SSE endpoint for MCP, and then you can add it into your favorite AI agent, AI copilot, whatever. So it could be Claude by Anthropic or whatever. But you can also use the MCP inspector. And so typically you can see that here I'm able to connect to this MCP server. I'm able to list the different tools. You can see that we have some kind of conversion between OpenAPI operations and MCP tools. And so typically you can see that we have this ability to run and get all the pets. Okay. Or run and get one pet using an ID. So typically ID number 2. Okay. Or for example, getting different pets having, for example, the high letter in their name. So, and the response is not working. So still some issues with with the calling stuff. Oh no, K. We don't have high. We don't have. I think we have K.
It was not an
Okay.
issue, it was a feature.
It was a feature, yeah. So K is working. So typically you see how things are working, and you can see that here the different elements from the OpenAPI semantics. So typically here the query parameter name filter, or here the pass parameter ID are translated into tool inputs in the MCP world. And the same thing here, you can see that when I want to create a new pet, I don't have any query parameter or path parameter, I just have a name. And this time looking at the MCP inspector, you can see that here I have a name and I can create a new cat here called Rusty, for example. And it fails. Okay, so still some issues, still some stuff to solve, but you can see how things are translated between the OpenAPI world and the MCP world. And so typically, to validate that this approach of converting stuff between MCP and some specific protocol-specific semantics is valid, I have also started working on gRPC stuff. And if we want to have a look at the gRPC stuff, so the same pet store service, but using gRPC under the hood, you'll see that we have the same way of doing things. So here, the endpoint is different. Oops. No. So yes, the endpoint is different, and this is an endpoint for a gRPC service, but still using the MCP protocol. And you can see that here, interesting. So let's try it out once again. Refresh, paste, and connect, yes. And here, yes, still the same. I am able to see the tools there and to see that, yes, here, for example, I've got 3 different tools with different properties, so different objects and so on integrated here. So typically, you'll see how things are going to be implemented. Issues are here, so we really like to get some feedbacks on how we envision things at the moment, because you are very aware, I presume, that MCP is very hot topics. We don't have not yet a lot of best practices on how to implement this. The documentation on how the MCP protocol is expected to work is still a bit, let's say, lightweight and confusing. So yeah, we really like to be able to interact more with the community. So feel free to join us even on GitHub or Discord to talk everything about MCP. So very hot topic at the moment.
Yeah, that's cool. And that's planned for the next release, which will be 1.12,
Yeah.
which should come in the coming months. Yeah.
Yeah, so it should be also coming weeks. I think basically the 1.12 was scheduled for next week, but as we try to put MCP into the 1.12, it will be it will be a rush. So I think we'll have to move the date maybe to by the end of May, maybe for Spring One or not Spring One, Spring IO. It could be a nice compelling event to synchronize the release with this nice event too.
That's very cool.
So yeah, feel free to join, and a lot of stuff to do in MCP, and also lots of interesting stuff because typically, as we are reusing the same mocking logic, but from a different protocol point of view, I realized that some of our implementations are really very tied to the transport, to the communication protocol that is used under the hood. So typically, what I have to do for the OpenAPI support on MCP was to disconnect all the things related to HTTP support for REST endpoints and REST mocks, disconnect this from the pure dispatching and dispatching logic. So instead of having one monolithic component that is managing both HTTP protocol and request response matching and dispatching, I split those components into two different components, and that's interesting from a design point of view because it allows much more reuse from the MCP point of view, and also I think a way better design regarding the Microcks core. So typically, I split the REST controller class into two smallest class, and I think the design is way better than this. So it should also bring some improvements on how things can be maintained in the future. So really cool topic.
Very nice. And there's also something which is coming in that release, but we have had a conversation on that at the latest community meeting, but it's important as well. It's Microcks UI migration and improvement on the fact that we are moving to Angular 19. And that's amazing from a security point of view regarding all the CVEs and all the security dependencies that we are able, let's say, to finally throw away from the product, which is really great. So I think we're
Yeah.
going to communicate massively on that because that's a big step from a CVE point of view.
Yeah. And typically, nice point, Yassine. I would like us to take this opportunity to have a shout out to Cheyenne Das. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly because we had two remaining bugs in the Angular 19 migration, and this guy or this girl just provides some fix. And so I'm really happy. So typically we had this problem of disalignment using a drop-down button once the migration was done. And we also this bug of having a drop-down, an empty drop-down when there was no domain in entries. And so he bring the fix. And I think that typically we can now close this issue and say, I'm gonna do it live. Should be okay now. Thanks to it's Cheyenne Das, if I remember correctly. Yes, it is PR.
That's
So
great.
that's it. I think this topic is now, I would say maybe not 100% done, but if there are still remaining bugs, there are very small glitches, I think.
Yeah,
So that's cool.
that's great.
And by the way, I also like to take this opportunity to have a community call and say we have this nice, I think could be nice request here to add a dark theme for the Microcks UI. And I think it's something that is now very much easier to add now that we have migrated to Angular 19. I started to make some tests a few weeks ago. I'm not at all an expert in CSS, so this will just remain test. I will not push them in the branches, but if someone is a CSS lover, want to absolutely have a doc term, I would be more than happy to have a chat and yes, just to tell what I started to do and what could be done next to have this kind of dark theme in Microcks UI. So UX and CSS lovers, please reach out and you will be more than welcomed.
Yeah, call to action for the dark theme lovers.
Exactly.
Laurent and I never use it, so so we need some people who like it to contribute on it.
Exactly.
That's great.
I think, yeah, that's
And
already a good chunk.
yeah, maybe Laurent, regarding all the call to action, especially for mentees, if you can go on the community repo, because we have quite a lot of, let's say, issues and you know, tasks on which the one who would like can really help the mentees and start to contribute on it. So if you go on it and if you check on issues, you'll see a lot of help needed action which were created, have been created by the mentees. The Linux Foundation mentees part of the mentorship program. And I'm sure that some of them are very valuable for adopters and users and people who like to join the community. So any contribution on that, any help on reviewing what they have produced from a documentation point of view is just more than welcome. We also have, some installation directory where the community can describe the way they deploy Microcks on their specific, cloud provider. So maybe Akash, I don't know if you're working on the Oracle Cloud, but if you have any friend within Oracle who would like to contribute on how to deploy Microcks at scale, production ready on top of Oracle Kubernetes Manage, which is named OKE, if I'm
Yeah,
correct.
that's okay.
Yeah, feel free to redirect them to those issues, because that's clearly where the community can really help and share with the others. And we're going to be more than happy to promote the fact that Microcks is running on, of course, any type of any flavors of Kubernetes. So that's a call to action to all the people who would like to join us and contribute. The community repo is really where you can contribute all the stuff which are, let's say, not related to Microcks core, but more related to the way to set it up, deploy it, install it at scale, and share, some tuning, performances, improvement, and information regarding the way adopters are using it.
Sure. I think I'll spend some of the time this weekend to explore, and maybe yeah, if I think I'm there. I maybe help with the OKI part, Oracle Cloud part, with deploying on Microcks on that.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah, very nice. We know some aunties who are taking your word.
Yeah.
That's very cool. All right. So, Arsh, I don't know if you've planned to update us on the amazing CLI you're working on, or if you have anything to share regarding your advancements. If not, that's fine. Don't want to put the pressure on you because we didn't plan to do that. But if you have anything to share, feel free to.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Actually, like I disconnected from the earbuds.
It's okay.
So like there is no any major updates, but like yes, we have some full-fledged start and stop command working on the macro CLI. And other than that, like we have support for the config file, which basically can store the state of the Microcks instance and which can track the record of the instance. And other than that, like currently we have a new CI setup is done on the 1.x branch, and we have like working on some testing part. So like we are implementing some unit and integration testing on the current code. So like this is the like overview of the current development thing. Uh, to share, like let me share my screen and show how you can utilize the start stop commands. So like now we have uh, start and stop command in or a command list, and if I can get help for this. So like as you can see, now we have one driver flag, which basically like guide you to guide Microcks to use which driver user want, like a Docker or Podman. Then like image, which basically like overrides the default image, which is going to use by the Microcks CLI, and the container will be created by that image only. Then we have names user can give their own custom name to a Microcks instance, and they can also define some port, like whichever port they want to expose. And yeah, hyphen like rm flag is also there, so like they can mimic the like rm flag of the Docker command. So, like now if you see, I have a config file already. So like there is no anything currently. And now that if I start an instance of the Microcks, I'm just using the default one. And I got Microcks instance running on my Docker, because like but the default driver is Docker. And now if I do Docker PS, I will have a Microcks instance port there. So yeah, you can see the Microcks is running. The default port is at 85, and the default image is a latest native. Now, if I want to override this thing, I can do things with, like I have to just remove the config file and then start. I will use a driver as podman. I will give a name as Microcks podman, and I will expose the port to 8082, 8083. Okay. Accept. Okay. So like now if I do a podman TS, as you can see, we have an 8883 and the name of the instance is Microcks podman. So like this is how you can actually utilize the whole Microcks start and stop command with different drivers.
Wow. So we can use different, I mean, the two engines at the same time, just using different port for Microcks.
Yeah, like as of now, because we don't have the context switching. So like in as of like we on the one context we have only one instance. But like as soon as we like implement the context switching, so like in different context we can use different drivers.
That's great. That's very great. Yeah, cool. That's going to sort out a lot of issues because
Yeah,
Laurent and I were always struggling, when you have both Podman and Docker installed on the same laptop, for example, and it's just so cool.
Yeah, they did improve things in the
Yeah,
latest release of Podman, but yeah, it was a mess a few releases ago. But now things are better, and that's really cool that we can launch different instances without any conflicts.
that's cool. Very nice.
yeah, and like also we are trying like we can do everything with the micro CUI. We should be able to do with micro CLI.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. Oh, so yeah.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you.
All right. So I don't think that we have any other, let's say, specific topic to share. I think we have had a conversation already regarding the Menti walk at the latest community meeting. I think for the next one, we'll certainly try to see if there is other Mentis, because for the one who don't know, we have 7 Mentis on 7 different projects currently working for. They still have a month and a half to work on their own project to improve Microcks on some specific topics. So maybe some of the other Menti will join the next community meeting to showcase what we have been able to do, or share, let's say, where they may need some support and help from the community. Yes, Laurent.
Yes, maybe one thing to add, and this will be another call to action for the community. Sorry. It's about this topic that you should see on my screen. Discussion I raised some weeks ago about a new generation of script engine into Microcks, because yes, just to give you a brief overview once again, we have the Groovy support since its beginning. But unfortunately, we are not able to use Groovy support when Microcks is compiled as a native binary. And we know that people tend to appreciate the native binary a lot. So we were exploring different options. And one of the options that we proposed is to use is also a new script engine that would be GraalJS, to have the JavaScript support in Microcks. But bad luck to me, didn't get any comment, just a few thumbs up on the first message. So I would expect more feedback and more enthusiasm regarding this, because this is allowed to have a script support in native image. That is, to my opinion, yes, a game changer. So feel free to check it out, to read it. It's not that long. For once, I succeed, I think, in making something short and succinct. Most of the time, I'm writing too long sentences, but yeah. So read it out and tell me what you think about it.
Yeah, because you're right, Laurent. This is a hot topic, and we think that it can change and improve a lot of stuff for existing adopters. So I hope that they're going to read it and provide feedback and provide enthusiasm on it, because that's huge. So please do it. If you are using Groovy script, if you would like to improve it, if you are using, like, we know some adopters who are using a huge amount of dispatching rules, that's something for you.
Yeah. Or if you don't like Groovy and you never wanted to try it out, and you would be much more happier with JavaScript. So tell us, like.
Absolutely, yeah. Good. And
Good. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's it. Maybe just maybe we can also share, a nice shout out that we have had this week, just for information purpose. Oh yes, here it is. This is from TestCube, which is a well-known CNCF project, and Oli Lensmore, who is managing a very nice podcast, and he have done a very nice conversation with someone that we know for quite a while, and we thanks both of them, Oleg Nenashev, sorry. Um, and this conversation is really cool. I mean, check it out. It's quite short, and you're not going to use your time. And they clearly provide details and information on why mocking and is of interest, and the fact that test container, Microcks, and some of the tools, of course, are available to improve that. And that's really a real life experience and feedback from the field, and really appreciate, what they have done, and the way they have been able, let's say, to share that with everybody. So feel free to check it out. But thanks to them for this very nice conversation, and bringing, this hot topic in order to improve cloud native development, and all the stuff related to development lifecycle. And again, we are very lucky and proud to be mentioned within this type of conversations, of course. So I think little bit we still have some time. So I don't know if you guys would like to share any other topic. Otherwise, I think it's good for me for this community meeting. But if you have anything to share, ask, or please do it. That's your time. If not, that's cool. We can keep some topic for the next community meeting in 2 weeks. We, for the one who don't know, we just were coming back a few days off with Laurent, so we were catching up on quite a lot of activities since the beginning of the week, and let's say everything's starting to be on track again, and check the latest issues and so on. It's moving forward, and at least as fast as we can. And we'll keep you posted as well regarding the incubation process, because we are close to the end of the KubeCon freeze, and we hope that on the next TOC meeting, the technical committee from the CNCF, we should start redoing, the project triage in order to see the project who can move forward. And I think there's 5 projects in a FIFO, and let's wait a little bit and be patient and see if we can engage on the next steps. But we are ready to do so. All right.
All right. Yeah.
Great. Like hopefully we'll get an incubation stage.
Yeah, it's gonna take some time. We know it. Maybe longer than expected, but it's gonna take some time, and especially because we're in the middle of a big reorganization for the tag and so on. But at least the process is engaged. We have done our best to make it as smooth, clear, and efficient as we can on our side, and let's wait for the next steps. And of course, if everything is moving, we'll tell you. That's really a very important milestone for the project and the Microcks communities. So you'll
Definitely.
be aware. Okay, so I think let's close this meeting. Thanks a lot to Arsh and Akash for joining us today. And for the one who were looking at us live, feel free to reach out on Discord and join the community if you have any questions based on the information we shared today. All right. Thanks all.
Right.
Bye.